G'day everyone, welcome back to another video. Now, I'm so annoyed. I've seen this clip and Jacinta Allen is out here blaming Trump for no fuel and having crocodile tears like she cares about the Melbourne people after everything she's done to us. So let's watch this clip and see what she's saying and see what Pauline Hanson warned them about over 5 years ago.
Jacinta Allen has fought back tears while blaming Donald Trump's war on Iran for causing suffering in Victoria. As state political reporter Heidi Murphy explains, the Premier announced nearly $3 million in urgent support for food charities.
Turning up the temperature in the Parliament before the long weekend.
Can the Premier provide an assurance to anxious Victorians that there will be enough fuel to get them home from the Easter holidays?
I reject any fear and scaremongering approach by the leader of the Victorian Liberal Party.
The Premier's focus instead handing out $2.7 million in emergency funding for food charities so they can keep pumping out free meals.
This support actually helps to make sure that those Victorians in need don't miss their meals.
Jacinta Allen becoming emotional about the toll of what she's taken to calling Donald Trump's war on Iran.
The time we were told it would be short and sharp. Well, it's not, and it's going on. And it's hurting families, it's causing pain, it's causing grief. There's a single mum going without a meal.
And don't hold back your crocodile tears, Jacinta Allen, like you care about the Melbourne people, like you care at all. You want to act all big giving out some food when you've lost over $15 billion in fraud of taxpayer money, as the reports say, in the building sector alone. Not to mention all the other shit you care about that has nothing to do with helping people. We have crime through the roof. You're out here doing crocodile tears blaming a war overseas for your government's incompetency. You know, how is it someone else's fault that you didn't have fuel reserves? How is it someone else's fault that you shut down all the refineries? How is it someone else's fault as a leader of a country that you're not prepared for anything that happens overseas, regardless who's done it? You just want to blame everyone else. That's the sign of weak leadership. When you can't take accountability and find solutions, you just blame everyone else. And for her to have these crocodile tears out here, like she cares about someone missing out on a meal, while Melbourne people, like where I live in Melbourne, have been suffering for years under the Labor government, where they care more about going on trans marches than stopping kids cutting people up with machetes. And that's happened over and over. There's been people dying here non-stop. And Jacinta Allen's soft approach on crime, letting them out on bail so they can go and do it again the next night, stealing cars, robbing families, making it unsafe for Australians on Melbourne streets is disgraceful. And she's been out there doing this, faking emotion, trying to get sympathy. Oh, it's not our fault. It's all overseas' fault. It's all Trump's fault. It's your fault, Jacinta Allen. You think you can give $1 million to a food shelter and everything's all good while you've lost billions of our taxpayer money, failing to report it and investigate it, as we've seen over and over and over again. And it's just drives me crazy. Like she's acting like she's so sad about someone missing a meal. How about the people that get stabbed and killed under your watch? Because you want to let people out on bail and not hold people accountable. You go, these kids don't know what they're doing. When I was 16 years old, I knew not to stab someone. That's not Australian culture. That's not what we've ever had, Jacinta Allen. So to be out here acting all high and mighty, blaming Trump for your government's failure to protect the Australian people. No other country can blame everyone else. It has to be your country first, but you don't want to put Australian first. You want to worry about woke agenda issues and not prepare for what can happen. You want to address what's actually happening in this city. Because you don't want to address the real fact that we're one of the fastest growing cities with mass immigration and we don't even have houses. And everything's fine. Inflation's through the roof. People can't afford groceries. Everything's fine. Let's just blame everyone overseas. And to do with the fuel, you're really going to try and palm it off like this can't happen over and over again because your government, your Labor government will not prepare for any fuel crisis, getting rid of refineries, not making us self-reliant, not wanting to drill for oil, not wanting to use our coal for power. You know, Pauline Hanson was warning you about this. 5 years ago, she warned you about this. In 2021, she was saying we don't even have the minimum 90-day fuel reserve. And then your government during this crisis said there is no crisis and we've done great. We've got 30 days worth of fuel. Like, you're a complete joke of a government. You're a complete joke. You haven't protected the people. You've put Australians second. You've let fraud run rampant in this city, destroyed us, and now you're out there acting like you care someone misses a meal. Like, it's very rich coming from someone like you. And look at Pauline Hanson here, warning everyone 5 years ago about this happening.
Hanson.
Thank you very much, Madam Acting Deputy President. Well, I rise to speak on the Fuel Security Bill of 2021. When I came into the Senate in 2016, I raised the importance of fuel security for all Australians. This government and previous have continuously failed to meet the internationally mandated 90-day stockpile of fuel for the people of this nation.
Yep.
That means this government has put at risk the fuel security for our daily transport needs, our defence, our aviation industry, our mining and our commuter needs.
And this was 5 years ago warning the government about this. But does anyone want to listen? No, she's just a far-right extremist, according to them, when she's putting Australians first, worrying about real issues.
Without this internationally mandated 90-day stockpile of fuel, Australia risks coming to a grinding halt. And my concerns have been echoed by Senator Jim Allan when he too entered the Parliament in December 2017. And what's happened over the last 5 years? Nothing.
Yep.
If we go back to the year 2000, Australia had 8 refineries that literally met the entire needs of our domestic refined fuel requirements.
Yep.
This was the same year Australia was manufacturing more than 320,000 new cars and over 23,000 commercial vehicles. And fast forward 2 decades and Australia's self-sufficiency in the fuel space is going the same way as manufacturing. It's almost dead.
Yep. And that's because of this weak government that's happened over these decades, not putting Australians first, wanting to globalise everything, and not be self-sufficient, self-reliant. So, you know, it makes me just so heated because I live in Melbourne and I see people all the time on the news getting robbed, getting stabbed by these absolute thugs, and then I hear on the radio in the morning on the way to work that they've been let out on bail the same day again. And it fucking drives me crazy. I know I'm a bit heated in this video, but Jacinta Allen out there like she's caring about anything. When she's allowed this to go on in this city, she's one of the worst premiers we've ever had. To let crime get this bad, or she just worries about woke agenda and fraud running rampant, is a complete joke. And Pauline Hanson's out there addressing the real issues over 5 years ago, and obviously a lot longer than that, of actually what's going to happen in this country. Doesn't know who's going to do it, or what's going to happen, where there's going to be a war, whatever. It's going to happen eventually, and they don't want to address it, and this is what happens when they want to worry about issues that have nothing to do with Australians, like sending money overseas. So I think we've had enough as Australians. We need to speak up, call out these fake empathy from these politicians that just makes me sick when she's acting like she's worried about someone missing a meal, while plenty of people in Melbourne have been missing many meals for many years because of their weak government. Anyway, give this video a like, comment down below what you think, subscribe to the channel, join to be a member if you want to see these videos early and support a message like this that actually calls these people out. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you all so much for the support. We'll keep getting the message out there and not let up on this Labor government.